Alright, now I have open this last file from the HTML getting started videos that we did where we set up these lists. I'm going to use that to continue on and start talking about CSS, or cascading style sheets. It's what we use to style our pages and give them a certain look. So here, just to start out, I'm going to add a simple style so that we can take a look at different ways to include our styles onto a page. So here in the head section below the title, I'm going to add this style tag. And then inside of here, I'm going to add a style for the body. And we'll take a look at these selectors and the way this is being done in another video. I just want to create this style so that we can see some of the differences in how we're including these styles and making things happen. So here I'm going to give this body a background color of, say, light blue. I'm going to save this, and then when I refresh my page here, I named this incorrectly. We'll just go with blue. And then that doesn't make that very easy to read. I'll go ahead and make the font color white just so that we can still see everything. And then now we can see adding this, everything in the body tag, that's going to be have a background color of blue and the color of white. But like I said, we'll get into selecting things and adding some of these styles in another video. But I wanted to just have some styles in here so that we can look at ways of including our styles in a page. The first one here that I've done is referred to as an embedded style sheet. So that's where you're embedding that style sheet directly into your HTML. And we try to avoid that, but we'll look at that here in a minute. Another way that we can set these styles is within the elements themselves. So here, if I wanted to change the font size of this paragraph tag, I can add in the style attribute and then put some style rules inside of there. So if I wanted to change the font size, I can do that in this element this way. And then when I save that, we can see doing it this way is changing this font size. And the way that we're going to be adding these styles throughout the semester is the next thing that we're going to look at. So here I'm going to create a new file. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. So save as. Well, first I want to set the language to CSS. That way it gives me some of that color coding and understands some of what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to save this file using save as. And here in the folder that I'm working in, I'm just going to name this styles.css. Or because this is already set to cascade style sheets, I'm going to just name it styles, and it will name it styles.css here. And now we can add our styles in here instead of in this body, or in our HTML, sorry. I'm going to keep this in here so that we can look at some of the hierarchy and the precedence that gets set. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and paste this into my CSS file. And this is exactly the same as what the other one is. But now that I have a style set over here, and I'm going to go ahead and change this, change the background color to green, this color to blue, and save this file. And we created the file, but we've not called it yet. So when I refresh the page, nothing happens yet. Now my index.html, what I need to do to be able to include that external style sheet is put in a link element with the rel equals style sheet. And then href equals, and we're going to put in where that style sheet is located. And this is going to work just like your image paths or your local or relative links. So because I saved this file in the same directory as my index.html here, I just need to put in styles.css. If I had that, say, in a styles folder, then I would need to have the rest of that path so that it can find that file. So here I'm going to just put styles.css, and then this this link tag is a self-closing tag, so we don't need an end tag for it. Now when I save my file and I refresh my page, we still don't see a change. There's a reason for that. That has to do with the precedence. I'm putting this link to this style sheet, so it's pulling in these styles, and then here in this style tag, I've overwritten those styles, so it's still going with what these styles are. Now, if I take this and I move it down below the style tag so that it comes after, the browser is going to see this style tag, see these styles, and then it's going to see this and say, okay, well, there's a different background color and a different color for the body tag, so I need to go with what's in this because this was after that. So now when I save that and I refresh our page, we get nothing. The reason that we got nothing is because I accidentally misnamed my file here. Remember, we named it styles with an S. I need to include that S so that the file name is correct. And now when we refresh the page, we see that change happen. Now the styles that the page is being given are the ones coming from this file. So going back to, since we had that file name wrong, I'm going to move this back above the style tag, save it, and we'll refresh the page so you can see that even when that file name is correct, we still get that same precedence happening. So now, because I want to use the styles in this style sheet, I'm going to go ahead and remove this style tag because I want to keep my styles in a separate file because it makes them it makes it a lot easier to work with, because you know when you open that CSS file, you're going to have your CSS styles. You don't have to dig through your HTML and try to find a style tag and worry about where things got set and what's going on and trying to make that happen. Now here, while I only have one paragraph tag here, I'm going to go ahead and add another one real quick. Paragraph, a second paragraph. Then when I refresh my page, we can see what's in this first paragraph has this font size that I set, and the second paragraph does not. So now we need to think about how we can style this paragraph but not this paragraph. So in the next video, I'm going to start looking at using selectors and adding classes, IDs, things like that to our HTML so that we can make it easier to select different elements or specific elements depending on what it is we want to do.